him up, take care of him if you can, because you're kind of going through a hard time right now. It's a little bit expensive to buy dog food. We thought it was the right thing to do.
Whoa, a little backstory to that one.
That's how things are tied up right now. But
it's kind of like a bad tied up too. Yeah. Actually, no, sorry for
that. That was a really sad story I added there.
I would
sad twist.
I would drive to the pound and pick that guy up and bring him home with me. Happy ending.
Yeah. So. That's why Moonbay would end up like a homeless person with a dog, like in the movie, like
man's best friend, whatever, dude.
Well, guys, it is Flash versus ByuL.
Yeah. So sad story aside, we've got a very happy thing here.
Yeah.
Brendan's
very happy about this.
Bring us back, Brendan.
And we're gonna get a look at the predictions here. I know who I went with, who you guys went with.
I'm not sure who I voted for. I'm gonna wait and see. It turns out I voted for ByuL.
Oh. Who was right on the predictions for the predictions?
You were right.
I was right.
I predicted that everyone would vote for ByuL and not a single person would vote for Flash.
This is incredible, actually. A perfect 3-3 split.
Yeah.
This is like, I don't know.
English casters versus Korean casters here.
Yeah.
So you might get a little bit of a close-up of us as we see the camera turn.
Oh, yeah. I see that.
Give him a nice stare down, guys.
Well, I'm feeling ByuL comes off of a win. Flash comes off of a loss. ByuL is looking really strong. Flash lost in his first TDZ of the night. Now he's playing a second one.
Exactly.
ByuL also very, very strong against Terran, as Flash is very, very strong against Zerg. They're both, well, they're not both playing the same matchup. Flash did play against a Zerg, but he got crushed. Of course, this is a different map. Totally Outboxer, very, very good for mech as well. I'm not feeling his win here. I'm not feeling that energy.
Yeah, I mean,
he's sorry to cut you off.
No.
He's also got so much pressure on him to win because he has to get into that Kespa Cup, or at least he wants to, and KT Rolster also needs this win as well. So I don't know.
It's like he's got he's got to win this for two major reasons. He has to. And I mean, ByuL is very good against Terran too. And this map, I mean, not the best for Zerg for sure, but it's not terrible.
Well, thoughts on, we'll talk about the map a little bit more once we get into it, because I think we're going to go into it in just a moment. But I will have to pick your brain, Wade, your
Zerg-infested mind.
Prince of Blades over here. All right, let's go into it. The final map of this first series here, KT versus IM Flash versus ByuL, and the ace match on Outboxer.
Up here in the top left in the red for KT Rolster, it's God himself, Flash.
Down near the bottom right in the blue, the wrecking ByuL, the mountain. Even a wrecking ByuL couldn't break this mountain. I put my sunglasses on that for that honey fun right there.
I think you'd be putting sunglasses on top of your sunglasses.
Yeah, that's actually how good it was.
Yeah.
I'd like take the sunglasses that I was wearing on my head, that you know when you like take your sunglasses, put them on top of your head. I'd like take those that I had on top of my head while I was wearing sunglasses and put them on. I just slide them down. Man.
Exactly. Then that song would start playing.
What song?
The intro to you know that one.
I actually don't know if I don't actually.
You haven't seen the TV show this is from?
No, I don't think so.
This is where it all started, man.
I didn't know that. I just thought it was a thing on the internet.
CSI Miami? CSI Miami, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
I never watched the show, actually, but I know about that.
I watched a bit. He actually had the strangest name, the main character.
What was his name?
I can't even remember it, actually. That's how strange it was. Like,
it was probably Rumpelstiltskin.
I've never heard. It could be.
It was probably something similar to
Guys,
that,
I'm pretty sure this was never a TV show. I'm pretty sure this is an Aesop's fable. And I'm pretty sure that Rumpelstiltskin used to wear sunglasses, and that's why.
Must be.
That's kind of what it all came down to. And I'm pretty sure that's how the meme originated. Very concerned about proxies here.
Yeah, very worried, ByuL. I mean, good to be on top of this though, and such an important match for both teams. You don't want to get cheesed out. It'd be probably one of the worst feelings ever.
Yeah, I always loved that early drone scout, just making sure Don't want to lose to anything stupid, anything early.
So Moonji, I want you to spill the beans. Do you think we're going to see mech here out of Flash? And talk to me about the map.
I think we could very well see mech here. This map, it's kind of hard. Like looking at it, like the 4th base is probably the hardest point on this map to defend against drops, to defend against just standard pushes, and I mean you can kill the rocks to a 4th base to completely block it off. So once you have that Hellion, like Reaper sort of map control, you can kill them and kind of deny the Zerg from getting a 4th base for a very long time if you so wish. And many things like that kind of come into play, which kind of disadvantage Zerg, I feel, in a way. That, and it's pretty much just like 2 big chokes to both bases, so I feel like it's a bit easier to kind of defend, kind of see where stuff's coming from, and position correctly against it.
Okay. We've seen Flash actually play a very aggressive, fast, early pushing mech style on this map because of the way the bases used to be a lot easier to siege up. The map has been changed since then, so it's a little bit tougher to actually siege up that 4th base location early on with a bunch of units, which I think is fair because it was really tough to actually defend that as a Zerg player.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely not as hard as it used to be, but it's still not a bad map at all for Terran.
Yeah, I just don't think we'll be seeing any like early move outs with mech. Probably not on this map.
And we do see the same build from Flash. He's going for those early Marines straight into Factory, straight into Hellions, so we could very well see mech from this.
Yeah, very likely. Let's see if he starts a starport next to that barracks and goes cloak again. Wasn't really able to get a whole lot done with his Banshees last time, so I feel like there's a low chance that he'll actually commit to cloak this time, but there's a starport, and Tech Lab should be popped down shortly.
Yeah, any second.
This is so like Flash to just do the same build.
Yeah. And I mean, Life and ByuL no doubt had a conversation about this, and they kind of know exactly what went on, considering ByuL got to sit back and watch this game firsthand.
Yeah.
And he is getting Overlord to do a good position here to actually get an Overlord scout early enough to make him kind of react to it. Whoa, a lot of Zerglings. I kind of like this too.
Yep. It's 22 Zerglings that are going to be on the map. He's staying at 26 drones for now.
And you know why he's doing this? It's because Life said, hey, ByuL, you know what? He doesn't get a bunker, yo. He doesn't get a bunker.
Yo, yeah, he definitely said
He speaks like that, and here we go. Mass Zerglings on the map. Marines completely out of position here.
Oh my god.
And he's just going to sweep in, and he's going to easily force a lift on this. Actually, the main is down. The depots are down. K sees it. He should be able to raise the depots. There's actually no excuse of not raising the depots.
Yep.
Exactly right. And
yeah, he long before had those raised. There's no SCVs here, so I feel like he should at least be attacking the depots on the low ground. I think he wants to catch Hellions, but
I feel like he wanted to do a whole lot more with this. Like, whether it be he actually gets up that ramp into the main, which could have been game-ending. But now, like, Flash kind of didn't really take any damage for 1 SCV. Has 6 Hellions out, which is a perfect number to start dealing with his Zerglings on the map. And
Armory. Gonna see Hellbats this time to start things off with those Banshees. And this is pretty scary. Now, he wasn't able to scout that, and he still doesn't know, so the Roach Warren is going down. And it's possible that he actually does a Roach speedling, or Roach banding attack. That was what his plan is, but I think it's more likely that this is just a safety Roach Warren, especially with the lair now being started.
Yeah, there's really no way he could do any sort of timing on this base, considering Banshees are already out on the map. It's absolutely impossible.
Yeah, and he sees the Banshees are researching Cloak, so he's going to be able to start an Overseer as soon as that layer is done. He's going to add Spore Callers as well. Notice he makes one here. They can move into the mineral line. He can leave it there for now as well for extra safety at this moment.
Got a bunker at the front just for safety, just in case,
The armory is done. This is a lot of Hellions. There's actually not enough Roaches yet, only 4 of them. There's that tight wall. Need to set it up. Okay.
That's the counterattack, and here's the attack out of Flash. He's got 3 queens here, ByuL. Does need those roaches, though. I believe he made 4. He's making 4 more, but this is a lot of Hellbats right now.
This is probably a dead hatchery. I don't know how much energy those queens have exactly, so maybe he actually holds it here.
Yeah, well, with those roaches, he should be in pretty good shape to hold it, especially because the spore is down close enough to the hatchery. So forcing out a lot of roaches, though, which is very good for Flash. Especially when he doesn't want to make them, but he does react accordingly.
This is a really scary moment, but he handles it well. Sling over here, and we get eliminated. I thought he might try to run by. This is still, a lot of Hellbats here. He needs to make more roaches, and that's exactly what Flash wants him to do. There's an Overseer here, so these Banshees are not going to be able to proceed any further down to the south.
Yep. Trying to catch these Hellions that are running across the map, getting some damage on them as they come across, not able to surround them quite. Being very, very active with the Zerglings so far, even checking the front once again.
No
he runs through. The supply depot is down. There's Zerglings at the natural right now.
Ooh, yeah, just a few of them, but they're doing damage.
Yeah, some good damage there. And wow, big commitment to Hellbats here.
Yeah, he's actually just doing only Hellbats. This is how Flash used to play actually in the beta, and he's bringing it back. I think there might actually just be too many roaches. It's really hard to say because we can't see the hit points.
Well, yeah, there's definitely way too many. Like, when he saw that, I think he was kind of like hoping that ByuL would kind of just stop making roaches and like Flash would surprise him with this many Hellbats, but like it simply wasn't the case. ByuL was making roaches the whole time, and he's going to counterattack with speed roaches in such a number that it could actually kill this natural.
Yeah, luckily for Flash, he's been making Banshees nonstop, so yeah, those are going to help slow this down. But with only 64 supply, man.
It's looking hard. That third base is so late. He's got the command center, but he's not going to be able to land there for so long.
Let's see, I mean, he's got some repair going down here. He's got a decent amount of SCVs. Will eventually burst this down, I think.
Yeah, he should.
Follow the roaches target, and there he goes. It's down. The Marines are going to go down as well. And now he's going to start losing SCVs left and right. The Banshees really are helping out a lot here, but the split on the roaches is good. Oh, he's not quite able to get into the main. And I guess Flash will live, but he's just taking so much damage.
Yeah, and I mean,
he's still taking damage right now. Like,
it's so much damage. And from this is going to be a Muta Switch, which can actually kill. Considering how little anti-air that is on the map, we have one Viking in production so far.
Yep. And
Overseer gets a full scout of the base.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just letting him know, like, oh, yeah, you don't even have anything.
Ooh, even the corruption on that +2.
Yeah, cooping it. Slowing it down. This is kind of cute. It hurts the creep spread quite significantly, so that fourth base can be maybe exposed for a push later.
Yeah. I mean, if Flash finds that fourth base, it'll actually be a really huge kill. But he isn't really looking for it at the moment. He's looking for damage.
Yeah, even a second Scorpion Major, because he's starting to be like really concerned about Flowers 3+1 damages in my base. Trying to do a lot of damage. Queen goes down here, and now he can actually have his way with these drones.
Yeah.
Could even kill the extractor. I don't think it would be a bad choice.
Yeah, he's actually doing a little damage with this.
Gets up to 7 kills, but now on the chase are these Mutas. But look at this. I mean, the Overlord just did enough creep spread. These Banshees are now finally caught by the Mutas.
That's really hurtful. And he's just going to keep poking at any SCVs, or any of these units, excuse me. Any SCVs could find would be great, too.
And I mean, looking at that, there's one Thor, one Viking on the map so far. If he used those roaches to focus down the Thor while those Mutas came in, like, he can pretty much deal with all the anti-air and cancel or deny that third for a long time.
Nice kiting here on the Hellbats. He's picking off one by one. That Thor will be all alone very, very soon. And that army of SCVs that are repairing will be good for the Thor, but, you know, taking more and more damage takes out a lot of those Hellbats. These Mutas in position to do a lot of damage here at the natural as well.
Only one turret. You can actually just avoid it and go to the north. There will be a Thor in just a second, though. There it is. So he's going to have to get out of here. Gets another SCV, though. And in the main here, just to find some of these edge SCVs. And the Thors down here need to stick around because he absolutely needs them in the defense. That siege tank is doing so much for him right now. But ByuL is never overextending. He's never trading too far. He's just keeping this fourth base up. It's completely uncontested, unscouted too. I mean, you could reasonably assume that it's there, but
yeah, I mean, probably thought it'd be over the other side of the map, not kind of close to where Flash is. And I feel like ByuL could definitely be doing a lot more damage here if he focused maybe more on the third base, less about trying to do damage in the natural and whatnot. Canceling this fourth is going to be good.
So a pretty nice pick off there.
Oh, and he comes from the other side with a bunch of roaches here, trying to pick off some Thors, but he actually just runs right into the main base.
And now he's killing more Hellbats over here. And, I mean, look at this. The SCVs have nowhere to run, really. They're going to try to mineral walk through here. A lot of them will escape, but not before the majority of them do get damaged. And now this Thor, first one may actually be targeted down. It's very low, and there it goes. And that's just another big pickoff for him here. Flash's economy, he's lost so much mining time. His third base was so delayed.
Going to get a tank here as well. There's not enough DPS here to get those roaches out. Swarm hosts on the map as well.
I'm loving this transition. Getting rid of tanks, I mean, sees that there's only Thors kind of in production and on the map. He could do so much damage with Swarm Host at this point.
Yeah, I mean, consider also that the, you know, the normal answer to Swarm Host besides the tanks is like the Ravens, you know, the SimCity, the extra planetary. He just doesn't have anything like that. It's too far away. These roaches will finally be cleaned up here. He's not going to force another cancel on that command center. Actually, maybe he will at least kill the SCV.
He shouldn't, but he might.
I'm not sure if he's paying attention to it or not, but yeah, he killed it. I'm looking at the production tab. It starts again, but it was stopped for a moment.
So funny. But yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more aggression considering how little tanks are on the map. Two are being banned at a time, but I mean, there just isn't that many at the moment. And it could definitely cancel this fourth base, which I think is really important.
Now, let's see. He has how many? 9 with this last one coming out, I believe. And they're about to have the Enduring Locust. So he can do it from very far away.
Hellions do no damage, but he does scout the fourth base. Like you said, it probably could have assumed it, but now he knows for sure. Fifth base going up here for ByuL as well. Locust not.
They're not quite in range there.
Enough, yeah. Well, the upgrade is now finished. He's got to be careful about this big move out here by Flash, but Flash not seized up.
Pulling his Thor back very smartly here. And the next wave of Locust is about to pop. I think he's going to wait for it. Actually, I don't think Flash knows how close these Swarmos are to where he is. Okay, next wave is active, and here we go. Meanwhile, he's coming over here to attack this location. Not the best angle.
Oh, gets the tank with Lucas. Trading pretty well.
He needs to be careful, though, because this army is like right on top of him. I just don't think Flash knows that that's where it is.
Yeah.
Because he was dealing with the roaches last time. Okay, now he has to move. Like, they're so close on the first Locust, and they popped its splash damage to the Swarm Host underneath.
Yeah, we got 8 more Swarm Hosts on the way here. Flash now trying to move out, but ByuL has moved back. That scan doesn't catch those.
It's really important that Flash takes his fourth base over here. Now that he has this, actually, I mean, all the advantages that ByuL had earlier, he can sort of make up for those.
Yeah, he has a nice wall at the left side as well with tanks behind it, so Roach is not quite going to be able to counterattack here. He's going to try with some Zerglings as well. This could do some damage. Total army totally out of position here.
Yeah, could definitely do some damage here. Kind of just keeping these Terran units locked down here with the Swarm Host. Great way to do it and try and find counterattacks. But yeah, there is such a wall there and such a amount of tanks that really is just not getting through. And we are seeing him tech into Ultras now, which is another step along the way. So long as there's the SimCity isn't too good, Ultras can definitely find some work, but that is a lot of siege tanks.
And I mean, let's see, because this game is in a place where, like, the whole way I was thinking about it, I thought that ByuL just had so much momentum that Flash was never really going to be able to move out and secure this location. But because he chose Swarmos and this type of slow pushing, he is getting some good trades here. But once Flash gets to that critical mass, which he's nearly at right now, you know, this isn't going to work as well. And we're going to be at one of those games that kind of stalemates for a little while. This is a good moment here. The Roaches tank a lot, and so those Swarmos can actually get maybe 1 or 2 more siege tanks here. Gets one.
One extra, another one taking some damage over there.
Checking the island here, a smart choice.
Very, very important. Don't want to let Terran get those islands.
Especially in the mech versus.
It just gets worse. And yeah, as you were saying, when it gets to this kind of stage of the game, the Terran can definitely catch up once he's got that fourth down. He can build that critical mass of his mech army. And it looks like ByuL is kind of going to go for just a massive attack with the Swarm Host, with Ultras kind of tanking, and trying to just clear out this army completely. But it's going to be so hard considering this this map layout, how you can kind of just fight in the choke pretty much the entire time. It's going to be very hard for ByuL, especially without any Vipers, which I don't think we've seen any yet.
Oh, the Overlord here is so important right now with this cargo drop here. Sees the creep spread, knows he's going to need more than SCVs to take care of this one. He's got this live Viking over there. But you know what we saw earlier, which I've never seen so far yet in this matchup, is landed Vikings to help tank because he was so desperate. But I think it's, I mean, when you're that desperate, you know, you gotta make tough choices. Let's see, man. The Ultralists are done. They're out. They're coming across here. Oh, what? He's sniping the Swarmos from behind with landed Vikings.
He's doing a ton of damage right now. So many already going down, but look at this. A huge counterattack with a bunch of infested Terrans and Ultralists coming to the left side. Flash is going to have to move his army back.
Well, the wall is demolished here, and so the Ultras can do so much more. And they're trying to squeeze through there to kill these SPs. Like, thank you for looking at those command centers.
Yeah. Very nice. Denying this third base. Kind of, if he kills the refineries, it'll be even better. But I mean, he did lose a lot of Swarm Hosts on the side of the map there, which is going to really hurt him. He's going to have to remake them, or he's going to have to just invest in more Ultras, which I think are good to a point.
Yeah.
Good to a point. He really needs more Vipers especially.
Flash sent the dropship with the SCVs to the bottom left. He finds another Overlord there. And now he's actually going to lose it to Mutalisk.
These Mutalists on patrol of that. Medevac getting pretty low.
Unfortunately, they were kind of just doing their own thing, so they attacked the turret instead of finishing off the Medivac.
Now he might actually be freaking out, like, are you switching into Mutas? Let's see, big group of Lings through here, and those tanks are not sieged.
Unsieged tanks get surrounded and bungled as well. A ton of them going down. Infested turns on the rest of the tanks there on the high ground. Yep. Zergling's in to clean up in the back as well.
Landed Vikings here on the ground, helping out a little bit here, and Ultras trying to run up a ramp, never ideal when you're the Zerg player, but he's just doing so much.
Yeah, I mean, Vikings not the best against Ultras, that's for sure. As we saw in the Heart of the Swarm intro, never a good thing.
Not a good idea. And those two tanks at least were somewhat scary. Does he really think he's actually going to get rid of this with turrets? Because I don't think that, especially with a drone here, I don't think so.
He should make a hatchery for sure if he notices it in time. That'll really delay it. Oh, these Locusts getting really close to the tanks. Getting some really nice trades.
Oh, man. He can't afford to lose any of these tanks right now. Not with 6 Ultras coming out. Zergling's actually coming over here. These Vikings are going to go down.
There's way too much DPS here on the ground. The Thors are actually helping out a little bit, but this is looking like a lost cause here for regaining map control for Flashman. Those Planetary's going to fall.
Yep, Planetary goes down. The tanks for Blinding Cloud, they get cleaned up, and Flashy, it looks like he's just trying to be in position here. I feel like ByuL could just go for another counterattack over to the left side again. He makes the hatchery over here on this island.
Yeah, very good play.
The SCVs need to start attacking that.
Vikings going to come to deny it, but I mean, yeah, if we constantly see Zergling Ultra run bys into the natural, into the main, into the third base, he's just going to get ahead with all these amazing trades, especially because Swarm Hosts are constantly sending Locusts at them too.
Vikings are all out of position right now. It sounds funny to say Vikings out of position for Ultralists, but I mean, that's the situation we're in right now. And he's going for that counterattack, and the natural gets into the main base with his Lings, targets the depot on purpose, and now targets the factory so that it's always set up for him to run through here with his Ultralist. Ultralist doing a little bit of a dance there. And now all the depot's gone, the factory gone as well. So that's another open pathway here. The Lings are actually killing reinforcements right now. Maybe even going to kill this reactor. At least going to start it to burn, I would say. Yeah,
3 Banshees coming out at a time will eventually clean up those Lings. Well, at least if they attack, they will. But still, here at the natural doing a ton of damage as well. See the Swarmos over there on the right side of the map as well doing damage. And now counterattack on all of these tanks as well, totally alone.
Yep, and Infested Terrans are going to do so much for him here. And that is, I believe, the beginning of the end, because Flash, even though he has that base to the top right,
there's an Ultra up there for some reason.
He did an Ultra drop.
Whoa.
And actually, that's going to kill a lot of these Vikings, and I think he's going to win this fight.
The Planetary is going to win. He's going to be the champion. One more shot. Bam.
No, Planetary is the victor here, but still, I mean.
Wow, 10 mules.
10 mules, that's a lot of money, but that's a lot of minerals. The infrastructure is not set up there yet for the refineries. So
yeah, and it looks like ByuL is going to actually focus on dealing with this island.
Yeah, he's actually going to do an Ultra Ling drop. This is why I'm so happy we have islands back in StarCraft 2, because it's a cool little mechanic that we don't get to see.
It's cool to a point. I mean, it's good, but if it's like all island, then it's a problem, because Zerg just suck in island maps essentially.
Yeah, no island maps. More so just islands. Some islands.
It's a nice addition for sure. I'm a fan of it.
Spore callers were never trained to attack secret missiles.
No, if only. You know? That's the next evolution. Legacy of the Void.
Yeah, upgrade that at the evolution chamber.
Yeah.
Can shoot untargetable objects.
Oh, you're gonna see a blinding cloud as well.
Oh, nice.
Unfortunately, it still means it's gonna be able to attack Zerglings and Ultras. So it doesn't really make it
protects the queens.
Protects the queen. He's going to drop tubers. Oh, nice. And he might want to focus on these SCVs, actually.
Yeah, the Banshees are actually going to come clean this up, I think.
By the looks of things.
I mean, that's a lot of Banshees with good upgrades.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised we don't see sort of like a Hydra switch. I mean, we do see Hydra range being upgraded, but we don't see actually any Hydras on the map. But that is a lot of Infestors, and that will deal with Banshees.
Yeah, Infestors are going to do a great job against basically everything. Infested Terrans, Queens.
He pulled that whole air armory totally out of position. Now he's going for the attack at the third. Ultra's at the front. He's got Infested Terrans as well as those Infestors for when those air units come back.
And, I mean, it looks like he's going to hold here with the Thors coming out, but Flash, let's talk about his bank, man. His bank is only at 200 gas, whereas ByuL is at 4,700, 4,800. And he saved the planetary, and now the space got sniped. Flash is hanging in there.
Yeah,
is he going mutas? Yeah, he is. 29.
Nice. Excellent choice, actually, considering only 5 Ravens will not be able to kill mutas if they magic box.
Yeah. Or rather split, I guess.
Split. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess you can call it either way in this case. Good bungles here on the Ravens, specifically.
Yeah.
That
Catches
secret missile.
3 of those.
Oh, that didn't quite work out the way I liked it.
He kills a Banshee. Oh, but runs out of energy before he can deal with the rest.
By the way, I have a question. I assume that this is the case, but if you burrow an Infestor while Secret Missile is chasing it, it does still hit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It still hits.
Just making sure. Never seen that happen before.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I haven't seen it happen, I guess.
Yeah.
This is just so many mulas. He's going to finally control this planetary. Really save the Ultras. Oh.
Yes.
Looks like he does, and no amount of turrets can hold this many Mutalisks. Like,
no.
Even counterattacking here at the natural once again with a very small amount of units.
Yeah, I mean, killing all these turrets would be a really great move, actually. So the mutas have more free reign.
Flash,
big move out.
Flash has pulled a QHC, scanned the island. He also scanned the 9 o'clock base. That, you know, that's this NBA just being like, oh my god, how many bases do you have that you're making this work on? He sees that both of them are empty, and I think that's given him a little bit more motivation to try to make something happen here. But he has hurt the economy of ByuL a lot, and he knows that all of this switches into all of the money he just spent. It goes into all of those Mutalisks, so they can't try to hard counter that with a bunch of Thors. It's really funny that Zerlin finishes off the Thor there.
Well, Flash is trying to go for a counterattack as all these mutas find the place. ByuL decides that going for the throat right now instead of defending is the move here.
So much easier to do that with Mutalisks than with Ultras. When Ultras bug out on the ramp, it's so much easier to go in here. And plus, Banshees can't clean them up. And Flash, it looks like he wants to try to erase elimination-wise, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, not with these Thors. I mean, but ByuL is kind of expending his bank here. He doesn't have much left. But I mean, with these mutas in the main of Flash, kind of destroying all the production, and considering Flash's bank, he's in a horrible position, and that's pretty much all he's got left.
He scans again.
Yeah, he's desperately trying to make a bunch of Vikings here to hold off these mutas, but they're being killed as they popped out. GG. There it is.
ByuL takes the win, the 2 wins today, and denies Flash from getting his 2nd win here.
And that's actually so bad for KT. They could not afford to lose this match. It's going to be very hard for them to get into playoffs here, especially with IM threatening now. They're at 3-3. If they win their next matchup, IM could go to the playoffs here.
Yeah, and that would be ideal for them. There's Life giving a smile there. Clearly, you know, they talked about that match together, helped plan it, helped prepare it.
Zerg power today, man.
Zerg power and
Zerg power, man, yeah.
That's what I'd love to see, guys. ByuL and Life, both kind of old school players in the StarCraft 2 community. Good to see them carrying it in Pro League.
Yeah, looking very good.
Very disappointing for KT and Flash fans. Flash going down twice today.
Yeah,
not quite able to pull it through.
Having a tough time there. Really struggling to take the islands, which is what's so important on this map. I feel it's a terror when you lose control that early up against Swarm Host and creep is spread so far.
Yeah, if you can secure it, absolutely. And yeah, he kind of just kept getting traded out. He didn't really rebuild his wall at the natural and 3rd from the bottom, so he constantly got counterattacked.